sit down, because we're talking about How to Train Your Dragon live action remake. So I went to the movie theater. I crossed half of the city to get to the movie theater yesterday evening to watch the How to Train Your Dragon remake, because I was really curious how it would compare to infamous Disney live action remakes. And to be honest, I need a refund. I really want my money back, but since I can't really get my money back, I thought I would make this YouTube video. And by the way, I spent $4 to get a ticket, so I thought I had to make this YouTube video. Or maybe I get $4 or something out of this video. If I'm being completely and utterly honest about this film, this is one of the most creatively bankrupt films in history. Like this movie is absolutely useless. I don't even know how to rate this movie, because no, I didn't hate it. Well, the thing is, I liked this movie. It was a good emotional movie, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed sitting in the theater and watching it. The problem is that I think I did not enjoy this film, but I enjoyed the original cartoon, because this movie is almost exact, almost shot-to-shot copy of the 2010 cartoon, which was good. This is the safest live-action remake that could probably ever existed, and I'm not kidding. Well, it is not exactly 100% copy. It's not exactly shot-to-shot. I mean, this movie is 20 or even 30 minutes longer than the original. I haven't really seen the original cartoon in like a few years, and if I'm not mistaken, the original cartoon had less scenes with Stoic and Astrid. So this live action movie just extended or expanded Stoic and Astrid, and in the story added some scenes. There are certainly more scenes with Astrid and Hiccup in this film, but other than that, it's almost the exact same movie. It's bizarre. It's absurd. It's the same director. It's the same composer, John Powell, with the same soundtrack. He slightly modified his soundtrack. He changed the name for certain tracks, like the soundtrack, my favorite soundtrack and many people's favorite track from the original cartoon is Test Drive. And in this live action it's called Test Driving Toothless, if I'm not mistaken. But it's the exact same soundtrack. They added a choir part in the middle. They extended this scene by like 10 seconds or so, but other than that, it's the exact copy. If the movie is for the most part, I would say 60 or 70% shot-to-shot copy of the cartoon, then the soundtrack is for like 70% is note-to-note copy of the original soundtrack. So I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say. Shot-to-shot copy for the most part, 70%. The exact same director, the exact same composer, the exact same studio, obviously, exact same everything. Almost. And even Gerard Butler reprised his role as Stoic, but I'm not complaining about that here, because he was good. And people are already talking that Kate Blanchett must reprise her role as Valka in the second film, and I think it makes sense, because she does look like Valka and she voices her in the cartoon. So I'm really confused. I don't know how to rate this film. I genuinely don't know how to rate this. How should one rate this film? Because it's the exact copy. There is cartoon, which is really good, and there is this movie. And frankly speaking, sometimes I say I don't understand why this film exists. I mean, I do. The money. The franchise has never been super popular at the box office. The highest grossing film is the second one, which barely crossed 600 million at the box office. compared to something like Frozen, for example, which made twice as much money, almost 1.3 billion, and the sequel Frozen 2 made almost 1.5 billion. And just last year Inside Out 2 made 1.7 billion at the box office. And How to Train Your Dragon at its peak in 2014 barely made 600 million. But these movies didn't really cost that much, and collectively 3 films made some good money. So for DreamWorks and for Universal, which owns DreamWorks, this was just really easy money. It was easy money. And for Dean DeBlois, who's the director of both the original and live action, it was really fun and quick money, you know. He already directed this film and he did the same, but with live action, with real actors, I mean, and got paid, so everyone's happy. The studio is happy, the director is happy to make easy money, and as I see the audience, the general audience is generally happy because they got to see the story again, introduce the kids who were too young to watch the original trilogy, and but still, it feels just weird and wrong to make the same movie again. And it's not like the original cartoon got old or something. The original cartoon is just 15 years old. I mean, it was released 15 years ago. Some cartoons, 3D cartoons released in the early 2000s, like Finding Nemo or, for example, or Monsters Inc. or Ice Age, they're still good enough, released in early 2000s. They still hold up, and you can still watch them and don't feel embarrassed or something. And How to Train Your Dragon is 2010 film. In the span of after just 15 years we got the copy remake, so this is what I really don't like. And to be honest, this whole thing got me thinking about Disney live action remakes. I mean people loved the How to Train Your Dragon remake because it's the copy of the original cartoon, and the ratings are quite high. I mean, at least so far, almost comparable to the cartoon. Almost. Cartoon is still better, you know. This got me thinking why Disney remakes do not get the same reception. Why, like, Disney remakes are always much worse than the cartoons. Like, at least you gotta give it to DreamWorks. At least the live action remakes looks good, sometimes even as good as the cartoon. But why Disney live action remakes are so poor compared to the original? And I divide Disney live action remakes into 3 categories. The first category is the movies that the original cartoons are just not really that good. Well, the big advantage that How to Train Your Dragon live action remake had is that the original is really good. I don't think original cartoon is a masterpiece, but it is a very good story, and I see lots of people of different ages who are like 15, 20, 40 who love this film because it's really good and it's really suitable for all audiences, from kids to adults. It is just a good movie, almost universal loved movie. And some Disney cartoons that were adapted into live action remakes do not have the some live action remakes do not have this advantage because the cartoons they're based on are just not really that good in the first place. For example, Pinocchio, Snow White and Cinderella. These films are all appreciated, and rightfully so, because without the Disney animation, without the Cinderella, and especially without Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, there would not be modern animation at all. There would not be Japanese animation. Osamu Tezuka, the creator of Astro Boy, would not get inspired by Disney and would not create the Japanese cartoon, the generation that followed would not start making Japanese cartoons commonly known as anime today. So yeah, these films like Seven Dwarfs or like Snow White are classics, and they're highly regarded as some of the most influential and greatest films in the history of cinematography and filmmaking, and rightful so. But in sheer isolation, these movies aren't really fantastic, like at all. And as a result, when you remake those films today, they don't feel great at all because the originals weren't great. So you're adapting a mediocre story and you get a mediocre story as a result. And the second category of Disney live action remakes is the films that are based on cartoons with mostly animals. And I'm looking at the Jungle Book and the Lion King, especially the Lion King. I mean, at least the Jungle Book has the main protagonist Mowgli, who's a human boy, at least, but the rest of the cast is animals. But at least animals are different. We get a snake, a bear, the apes, all that crazy stuff. But the Lion King is pure animals, not a single human in this film. It's pure animals. So you take a cartoon with animals, very expressive animated cartoon animals, and you make live action. Like, it should not work. And frankly speaking, it does not work. Despite grossing lots of money, both the original Lion King and the Mufasa film, it also grossed quite a lot. Not as much as the Lion King 2019, but still. Despite grossing a lot of money combined, over $2 billion, it still didn't work. Still, it makes you feel nothing at all. You just see the CGI lines, almost emotionless CGI lines. Yes, they fixed it in Mufasa, but still. And it didn't work, obviously. So do I need to say anything else? And the third category, the remakes just changed like a lot compared to the original cartoons. Like, for example, Dumbo remake, which took a simple original cartoon story and turned into suddenly an anti-capitalist statement. Do you remember Dumbo, by the way? March 2019. I remember I remember watching this, but to be completely honest, I don't really remember much of what this film was about, except that there was Eva Green and some anti-capitalism message, and Dumbo gets freed at the end, you know. And they just took the original cartoon and make a completely different anti-capitalism story. So yeah, these are three categories of Disney live action remakes. One, based on the cartoons that aren't great in the first place. I mean, in isolation aren't great. Influential as fuck, but as the stories aren't that good. The remakes of cartoons with animals, which obviously do not work. And the third category, remakes, they just changed too much compared to the original. Oh, another example for the third category is Mulan and the Guy Ritchie one. Come on, Aladdin. I still can't believe Guy Ritchie made this film. But so they changed a lot in both. In Aladdin, they made Jasmine a female sultan at the end. I'm not complaining about that, of course. Just saying that they changed a lot compared to the cartoon, and this is why I think Disney live action remakes for the most part do not work. Unlike How to Train Your Dragon remake, which, no matter what I said about it, it worked. But still, to be honest, I would rather take a remake that actually tries to change something, tries to bring some new message, characters, somehow change the story, than just a safe carbon copy of the original. So yeah, and I don't know, if you wanna watch the remake, you can, but you know, better watch the original cartoon. It's still better than this live action, and I'm making this video hoping that it will get 2000 views and I'll make those $4 back. No, seriously, so I spent 5 hours of my life yesterday. Anyway, thanks for listening or watching. Share your opinion about, did you like the movie, and what do you think? Is this the start of the new era of DreamWorks live action remakes or not? I hope it's not. You know, share your opinion, and see you tomorrow. And see ya. Bye.